Important part, an interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse. Has that been an evolution for you? And do you think that's part of the role you might play as first gentleman?
It's funny, I've started to think a lot about this. I've always been like this. My dad was like this, and to me, it's the...
Uh-oh, Jen Psaki may have to circle back on that one. Just when you thought it could not possibly get worse for the crumbling Kamala campaign, we get this. After an absolutely embarrassing debate performance by a running mate, now Harris is being humiliated by revelations about her own husband. We're going to see the latest that may just be the beginning of the October surprises rattling this campaign, and we're also going to see why her husband's past may indeed be the least of Kamala's worries. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Now, before we dive into Kamala's crumbling campaign, with all of the uncertainty and all the insanity surrounding us in the world as a whole, there has never been a better time to secure your finances with the timeless value of gold and silver. So that's why we have as one of our wonderful friends and sponsors, the amazing company Goldco, because they're patriots just like us who want to help you and guide you into learning how to get into precious metals completely tax-free and penalty-free. In fact, if you click on that link below right now, you can get your very own absolutely free gold and silver kit. It's an amazing free resource that shows you step-by-step how to get into precious metals, even if your money's still in a retirement account like an IRA or a 401k. And again, just to show you guys how awesome the Patriots at Goldco are, the best part is that you may actually already qualify to get up to $10,000 in free silver. I told you they're the best, so what are you waiting for? Get in on the action by clicking on that link below or going to turleytalkslikesgold.com and get your free gold and silver kit today. All right, gang, we may be seeing our second October surprise of the month here. The first, of course, was last night. Last night's debate. It turned out to be an inadvertent October surprise, but Tim Walz ended up demonstrating to the world what it looks like if you're actually dumber than Kamala. But now we've got this breaking news from the Daily Mail. Vice President Kamala Harris's husband is being accused of slapping his ex-girlfriend for flirting with another man at a ritzy gala back in 2012. Doug Emhoff, the so-called second gentleman, reportedly struck his then-girlfriend, a successful New York attorney, in the face so hard that she purportedly ended up spinning around. Again, this is reportedly as they were waiting in a valet line after an event at the Cannes Film Festival back in May of 2012. This according to three unnamed friends of this woman, the woman who was identified only as Jane in the report, allegedly called one of her friends sobbing in her cab immediately after the incident. They shared a series of photos showing Emhoff posing with the woman in 2012, as well as other documents that the Daily Mail claimed corroborated some of the details of the incident. Now, of course, we're going to have to see if this ends up getting corroborated, but it's already generating quite the buzz online. Molly Hemingway, the Federalist, tweeted out, "This is a horrifying story. I will say that it matches with something I recently learned from two California individuals who know Emhoff fairly well and said his reputation for poor treatment of women was notorious in their circles." And of course, we're now seeing the blitzkrieg of memes coming in like this one. I mean, it's just too much. But many of you may already know this, but this is hardly the first time we've gotten reports of Dougie's rather tumultuous past relationships. He has admitted to cheating on his previous wife. He got his nanny pregnant. I mean, this is a guy who hardly is exemplary of the accolades you just heard Jen Circleback Psaki lavishing upon him. Redefining masculinity. Give me a break. Again, it just further confirms everything woke literally turns to dung, as King James English would say. But now we're getting reports that this latest embarrassment for Kamala may in fact be the least of her worries. Now, this is coming from my neck of the woods. This is from the Philadelphia Inquirer. In deep blue Philly, working class voters are shifting to the Republicans. It's a fascinating report. It just dropped today on how more and more, particularly non-white working class voters, are indeed defecting away from the Democrats. And we're seeing it even in Philly. 20% of Pennsylvania's Democrats live in Philadelphia. And what's so interesting here is that this trend towards defecting to Trump has actually been going on now for the last few years. We saw it back in 2020 when Biden actually performed worse than Clinton in 41 of Philly's 66 political wards. And what this report noted is that those wards where Biden suffered were predominantly working class communities. And here's one of their key findings. Biden did better than Hillary among college grad voters, so like in Center City, Philadelphia, the bougie part of Philadelphia. But he did worse when it came to non-college grads. So working class, non-college grads appear to be de-aligning themselves away from the Democrats. And again, this trend was consistent across all racial groups, black, white, Latino, but most pronounced among majority Latino neighborhoods. It saw a significant uptick in ballots cast for Trump since 2016. And now for 2024, that voter registration advantage that we've been seeing the Republicans amass all throughout Pennsylvania that we've been talking about, it's even including Philadelphia. Since the end of 2023, the GOP gained more than 10,300 registrants in Philadelphia, all the while the Democrats netted 9,800. So Republicans are actually out-registering Democrats, even in deep, deep, deep blue Philadelphia, which is frankly unheard of. But it's all part of this larger trend that we've been talking about a lot on this channel for years now, and that's the mass defection of the working class from the political left on both sides of the Atlantic, right? It's not just happening here in the United States. It's happening throughout Europe as well. People like Geert Wilders of the Dutch Freedom Party, he gets his highest support from the working class. Marine Le Pen of National Rally in France gets her highest support from the working class. Giorgia Meloni of Italy. We could go on and on. The Brexit referendum got its highest support from the working class. And what this defection ultimately involves is a mass revolt against what's called the global division of labor, where manufacturing and factory jobs are shipped out to third world nations, all the while capital and finance are relocated to metropolitan urban centers, leaving rural populations highly unemployed. And as the Democrats are perceived by more and more voters as the party of the wealthy and the affluent, right? The party of celebrities and CEOs, more and more voters who are very, very concerned about how this global division of labor is disenfranchising them both economically and politically, they're siding with Trump and J.D. Vance, of course, both of whom are building a political coalition with the working class at the center and manufacturing and industry at the heart of their economic plan. Remember how Trump answered the question, what's your plan to bring prices down? It was a brilliant answer. He said, we got to bring the price of energy down. That's the leading indicator. Your prices of good is a lagging indicator. We need to bring the price of energy down. And we do that by once again achieving energy independence. Drill, baby, drill. And that message is resonating big time with the working class, along with the promise to secure the border and to protect our culture and our unique ways of life rather than denigrate it as bigoted and racist and all kinds of phobic. It's a winning strategy it's unraveling the Democrat coalition all at the same time it's building its own. And if that's the case, if the working class continues to defect en masse going into November, then the past antics of Kamala's hubby are going to turn out to be the least of her worries.